There's a lot of discussion about just what to pack in general, and how much to pack and all that sort of stuff. And I'm noticing that there's people there that were packing like their entire bathroom, and like because they're talking about like different ways to kind of increase their storage option as much as possible. So they're having like over the door hangers to store all their bathroom necessities. And they'd have, and they would be stunned at the idea that we can be on an 8-day sale and just have carry-on luggage and like a supplementary backpack or a duffel bag like I have. And they just, it seems sort of flabbergasted. And to me, I conversely am flabbergasted that they would pack so much. So I think one of the things to consider, like, to remember is that you really don't actually need an outfit per day. The undergarments, yeah, you want one per day and whatnot, and that obviously that makes sense. But things like pants, you can pack 2-3 pairs of pants and you're solid. Pack a few t-shirts and like it's stunning to me how much people overpack. Like even myself, I packed more than I needed. And I packed a carry-on and a duffel bag. And granted, it was a sizable duffel bag, and I had both of them full to bursting, but that's all I packed. And like carrying your entire bathroom is super unnecessary. Like for me, I have little travel size things of shampoo and conditioner just because I have fashion colored hair, and so and the Carnival doesn't supply conditioner, and they have like the two in one stuff, which just kills my hair. So I bring my own shampoo and conditioner. I would recommend bringing a little bit of lotion because some of the air here is really dry. But it's super not necessary to pack. There's some people that are packing, like a pair of pants per day, a t-shirt or 2 or 3 per day, because you never know what you're going to want to wear. You really, really don't need to pack to that excessive level, especially if you're flying, because then you have to, and then if you have connections, then you have to worry about whether or not your checked luggage is going to make connections. You have to pay extra for the checked luggage, and all that sort of stuff. If you are someone who's platinum or diamond or whatever, obviously you probably are a little bit more travel savvy, and also you have the option of taking advantage of the free laundry services. Use those. I mean, we took advantage of that. We used it twice this trip around, and it's been very beneficial for us. And so that really limits your need to pack so much. If you want to pay for that service, you can. I think it's like $15 per bag. And you can get a decent amount of stuff in that bag too.
Just be careful because it rips
it's a paper
bag.
bag, and it's a thin paper bag. But if you do it right, you can actually get a fairly sizable haul in there. Not like a full load of laundry, but if you want to just wash a t-shirt that you really want to wear a day from now, you can do that. It is usually about a 24-hour turnaround time unless you pay for express service. So there's that to consider. But like for myself, we had 2 elegant nights, so I packed 2 dresses. I could have gotten away with one. I didn't. 3 pairs of pants, which was probably 1 pair more than I needed. Shorts I didn't need at all. So that was a whole bunch of stuff that just took up room unnecessarily. And people were bringing like their entire makeup cabinet with them. You really don't need that. Really, I mean, you don't need to wear makeup. I mean, that's a personal thing. I mean, I wore it on the elegant nights, and so I didn't pack. I mean, I packed a lot, but I didn't pack like my entire makeup collection. And I don't know if you still do that. Is like when you come back from like Vegas and stuff like that, you do on a flight back, you do a debrief on all the different, because he has his packing list. Yeah. A really good Excel spreadsheet, which I really recommend you do. And okay, what did I bring? What did I not need to bring? What did I forget to bring? That sort of stuff. And so that by the time you've gone enough times, you have exactly what you need, and you don't pack anything in excess. You have room for bringing over souvenirs if you want to do that. And then you have TSA agents looking at your suitcase, going, "I can't believe that the suitcase is that well packed."
And I think for this trip, the packing advice I have for going to Alaska: do not pack a sweater. It's counterintuitive. Don't bring a sweater because you can't peel it off quickly, or well. Don't pack a scarf. You won't really need it.
No.
And
don't pack shorts.
Don't pack swimming trunks or shorts or swimsuit. You won't need it. But do pack, oddly, regular t-shirts. I didn't pack very many because I thought that it would be too cold. But it's part of the layering, the quick release layering you want to do.
And if you're someone who's a gym goer, what I would recommend doing is, if you're going to pack gym clothes, wear gym clothes that are polyester, so that way you can wash them in the sink or in the shower or whatever, and they'll dry off fairly quickly. They'll dry off the next day by the time it's time for you to go for the next gym day. So that's what I did for myself, because I mean, if you're wearing anything that's cotton, it's going to take a lot longer to dry. You're not going to have enough time. But yeah, we pack way too much, people, and stop that. Just because it's a pain to kind of circumnavigate around you guys, and you're bringing people. You need like porters to bring all your stuff. Like there was unfortunately, each stop on this cruise, the ambulance had to come by, and
That was weird.
and each stop my family had to leave the ship, the sailing, because a family member of theirs had to go to the hospital, and long enough that they weren't going to be able to reconnect with the ship. And there's one family where there's like 4 or 5 people that got off, and they needed basically 2 porters to take all of their luggage with them. I was like, why do you have so much stuff? Like, now you have to deal with all that stuff that you have to lug with you. I mean, yes, but I mean, it's one of those things that you want to factor in. Worst case scenario, God forbid something happened to you, and now you have to carry 5 pieces of luggage with you, or 1 person, 2 people. Like, that's ridiculous. Don't do that.
Portability is really important. I was at the member party thing, and there was someone there who was complaining that they didn't get enough Zone 1 luggage tags for all 10 pieces of their checked luggage for their cabin.
Shut up!
Yeah, I don't even, like, you must have a suite to be able to fit 10 pieces of luggage into a cabin.
Shut the front door.
It's mind-boggling, but it's like, and there's a lot of stuff you can bring that can serve multiple purposes. Like, I bring my Surface 3, which serves as my ability to record this podcast through my microphone, which admittedly most people probably wouldn't need to bring a microphone, but my tablet is great because I can bring shows and movies on it for entertainment. I can keep track of things. I can put my packing list or maps or other information onto it. I can play games. Also, I can listen to music, download and listen to a podcast, all that sort of stuff. And it's one device. I don't need to also bring a laptop. I don't also need to, not that they use them anywhere, bring a PDA. Like, there's that. And also your smartphone serves a lot of those purposes as well. So maybe you just need the phone. Part of the sort of the electronic packing thing to consider is you only have one plug in the room.
Yeah.
So, and even if you bring a solar charger, it has limited effectiveness. It helps, but it just supplements it. It's not like a whole other plug that's juiced all the time.
And you're not supposed to be bringing a power bar with you. I mean, you kind of can, but kind of can't. The rules are a little bit vague on that.
Yeah, consult Carnival directly for that. Don't get it from a third-party source is my advice. Make sure you know before you go. But it's just, people tend to bring more than they need. For example, I brought my 3DS this trip, and I haven't touched it once.
That's true.
That was an unnecessary thing. So, you know, even someone who had, this is my 15th cruise, I'm still bringing stuff that I don't need. Admittedly, Alaska is a little bit different, a little new to me.
Yeah.
You can refine from every trip. And so these people who have things that they hang off the door with bug spray and deodorant and bleach and detergent and all these different sort of things, it seems to go a little bit far. And if you're bringing something along on 10 cruises, taking up space that you may need on one that costs you $3 if you can hit the hardware store in Skagway, then that $3 is not poorly spent. That $3 bought you not having to lug around that weight and gaining that space on those 14 other trips where you're not going to need it. So, yeah, there's the I might need it, but there is also the fun shops. If you're in desperate need, yes, it costs more money, but again, if it's 1 out of every 10 cruises you use it, then that inflated cost, you're still kind of coming out ahead when you factor in all that extra effort.
And, like, people who, like, bring on their own water bottles, I mean, you're going to have, if you're gold level, you're going to have water bottles provided. Just fill them up yourself. That just takes up unnecessary space. One thing I would recommend, you don't do this, but one thing I recommend doing is I pack a Ziploc bag, like an empty Ziploc bag, and I put in my used undergarments, basically, with my socks, my underwear, and all that sort of stuff. And that just kind of keeps it all away, and stuff like that doesn't get mixed up with my clean clothes. And there are a lot of people that like to do that. I mean, if you want to be super, super hygienic, I don't understand the need for packing like a pair of pants per day. I don't, maybe for some people maybe it's a hygienic concern, but I don't understand that, and it just seems to me like it's a lot of stress that you're putting on yourself, and it's a big burden that you're putting on yourself, and it's an added expense. So I just it seems unnecessary, and same with packing days ahead, sometimes weeks ahead. Again, like, aren't you going to need that stuff? Like, how much do you have in your wardrobe that you're not going to need those clothes? Especially if you're packing as much as you're packing.
And you're excited about the cruise and you want it to be here faster. And so sometimes it feels like pre-packing gets you there. And we feel that. We definitely do. We get excited about the trip. So, when that happens, instead of packing 3 months in advance, we recommend you go to our YouTube channel and watch our videos repeatedly, because I find that fills that void very nicely. You might see something you hadn't seen before, gives you some ideas, and so we've got a myriad of different ways we can hopefully entertain you during those manic bits of I must pack a season before my trip. On Instagram, you can see pictures of our various trips and things that we're up to. That is just Vacation Impossible, one word, on Instagram. We are on Twitter, Vacay Impossible, just because of the character limit. And so you can find us in a bunch of different places. We have a Tumblr, vacationimpossible.tumblr.com. So vacationimpossible.ca is the website. team@vacationimpossible.ca is the email. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions for future podcasts or things that you would like to see. One thing that people do with packing is sometimes they use magnets. And so I recently on this trip recorded, I bought myself a magnet and I was testing what surfaces in the cabin it will adhere to. So you can look forward to that video coming out soon to see if maybe a magnetic hook may or may not make sense to you, depending on what you're bringing. But when in doubt, leave it out is often a good approach when you're traveling. And if you're flying, added weight means you're using more fuel and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, if you're finding yourself asking, do I need this or should I pack this? The answer is probably no, because if you're asking that question, I mean, there's obviously some doubt there. Just like you said, leave it out. So yeah, just stop it.
And subscribe to the podcast on your podcast platform of choice. We're on Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, you name it. We're probably there. If not, let us know and we'll get added. If you can leave a nice review, that would be a boost and we appreciate it. And thanks for listening. Until next time.
See you later.